Thanks for staying with us. It's still iBrand Daybreak, and it's time to delve into the discussion of the day. Remember, we started on an entertaining note, and can be rest assured we'll still bring you more entertainment. But now let's delve into something more substantial, as it were. The Lagos State government says its Ministry of Health has developed a set of policies on safe termination of pregnancy. Tagged Lagos State Guidelines on Safe Termination of Pregnancy for Legal Indications, the 40-page policy document sets out guidelines for safe termination of pregnancy within the ambit of the criminal law of the state. Now, joining us to discuss this and more is Dr. Akoni Abiola, the Medical Director, Olukayode Clinic, who joins us via the phone. Good morning, Dr. Abiola, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this new, this development coming from the Lagos State government on the safe abortion control or conduction?
When it comes to abortion, there are different series of challenges as pile up due to the increase of mortality and mortality rates in our country as a result of deaths of the mother on complications arises from untrained or unapproved abortions. And with that, Lagos State government and with the research of the co-health workers and probably put it up a documentation and present it and was approved on that case of abortion, the indications and why is legal in Lagos, probably due to those complications on that decision, but not a kind of word for everybody to abuse or a woman to abuse of when it comes to abortion. It's just to take a normal process of a legal process, an indication, medical indication that involve what abortion is all about and why a couple's or a decision or a kind of consent to that abortion process or procedure have to be sure that this documentation and this awareness goes to the right people and to take the right legal action when it comes to abortion.
Yes, but what are the chances that this law or this guideline would not be abused? Because we know that whether abortion is legalized or not in Nigeria, we know that there are people who go through the process, whether it's safe or not. But what are the chances that people do not abuse this? The fact that there are now guidelines to say that, yes, you can go for abortion, especially if it's a life-threatening situation, but these are the guidelines to follow.
Yes, the guideline not to be abused is normally abortion is not approved, is illegal for years, and every health practitioners, whether a doctor, medical doctor, nurses, and they are aware that it's illegal. And now that the awareness is coming out, it's legal to do certain conditions, meaning that illegal procedure of abortion have to be carried out and a qualified specialist of gynecologist or obstetrics, that the specialty that manage when it comes to pregnancy, conception, the antenatal, the pregnancy, have to be the person in charge to take this procedure. Not all medical practitioner is allowed to take this procedure, and there are different types of abortion. You understand? There are medication, there are medical abortion, and there are a kind of vacuum spontaneous abortion. All those things are different. It now depends on the weeks or the level and indications that involve why the prescription or the procedure have to be carried out. That means it's not for everybody, and the awareness have to be there that it should not be carried out on unqualified or unauthorized personnel or people that just do maybe concussion. But when I'm talking about abortion, that's why this method of a family planning method come in with research for years. That if you know you are not ready, couples are not ready for conception and you are sexually active, it's better you go for one of the methods of family planning. There are different methods of family planning. We have injectable, we have oral, we have implantal, we have so many ways that you can probably get yourself protected, not getting to that stage of abortion. And in the case whereby we have a threatened abortion or a kind of complications of abortion due to certain things or the other, that is approved, is legal, because to save the mother's life and to save the complication arises after that pregnancy, because they can give a right to congenital baby or congenital children or life-threatening medical disorder that just have to be managed, or those things. That is, because of this, the legal team have to come out and see the complications and the research, the history and documentation that happened for years and series of years, to know that there are certain situations whereby it have to be legal, especially when a kind of rape, when a lady is exposed to rape or unauthorized sexual intercourse or forced to do, or induction of drugs or those things like that. And for that baby, for that lady to give that pregnancy, is a life-threatening, is emotional, is psychological, that it causes a damages to that life and to the history of that sin that happened. Meaning that in a case like that, it's legal for that family or for that lady to terminate that pregnancy due to the process or the way it occurs. Those are the indications that involve legal abortions.
Okay, Dr. Abiola, apparently it's not entirely illegal, it's just entirely restrictive in this part of the world, talking about abortion.
Yes.
And we know quite well that there are two different laws that governs the issue of abortion. You have the penal code right there in northern Nigeria, and southern Nigeria it has to do with the criminal law. But because this is strictly Lagos, let's zone in on Lagos. For the guidelines that has been released, for those watching at home, is there a particular age limit, to those who are eligible for legal abortion within the state of Lagos?
There's not, there's an age limit, but it depends. The major thing about when it comes to medical conditions is indication, the diagnosis.
Okay.
The indication determines, because you are not looking about life, is we are talking about life in this aspect. Meaning that any adolescent stage that can probably conceive, meaning that he has get to a stage of childbearing age, and childbearing age depends on individual. Some may be childbearing age at the age of 13 years, some may be at the age of 15 or 16, meaning that it doesn't, if we are talking about abortion, meaning that that lady is now matured enough to conceive, to be pregnant, and so far that lady is matured enough to be pregnant, and she's pregnant, meaning that abortion comes in now. That if this pregnancy is legal, is wanted, is a precious baby, no, nothing like that will happen. But if there's an indications that whereby is illegal, maybe rape or abuse, all those things, meaning that those things will come in, that abortion have to take place, just to prevent further complications, family complications, other ending up to be doing DNA, all those things like that. No, that's why in Lagos State now, there are a group of at least come up to this, that we have to reduce the rate of the mother dying on daily basis because of uncontrolled. Because of this, they are not fully, some are not fully bold enough to go to a registered clinic or hospitals to get a very counseling on this aspect of abortion. They just go directly to unqualified people, taking concussion, taking herbal concussion, engaging in different induction of products or objects. At the end of the day, damaging their life, sometimes having complications to the uterus, blocking the tubes, or sometimes the cervix is blocked. So many things that comes in when it comes to unqualified abortion. At the end of the day, causing a life threatening to the lady.
Okay, Dr. Abiola, one of the guidelines, one of the criteria for it is that there has to be adequate training for medical personnel who will have to carry out, safe abortions.
That's why I answered that.
Yes.
There are O&Gs that's specialty on this field.
Exactly.
They are trained to manage cases like this. It's better to create awareness, to do an advocate for people to know that even if it's going to be happen or if it's going to be legal, you should meet the right people, the right experts on this field for a proper management and good outcome of it to prevent complications.
Okay. Yes. I was about asking a question in light of that, because that those who have concerns that, one, the medical, the health sector, our medical personnel leaving the country in their droves, and that has, depleted the numbers of capable or qualified medical personnel we have. Now, that those who are asking the question that these, special trainings and procedures for safe abortion, is it going to be restricted to your gynecologist, or you would also have other medical doctors, taught or trained specially for safe abortion?
Yes, thank you for that question. Yes, there are training, at least the training is for all medical practitioners.
Okay.
And luckily, I said there are different procedure of when I'm talking about termination of abortion. Even there are pills, there are natural pills, and just a kind of a product that is very effective, that you don't even need to pass through vacuum aspiration. That
Okay.
they'll just use a pill. There's a procedure to take those steps in that, but they have to meet a qualified person to put them through how to use these tablets.
Okay.
And
But we know how laws work in Nigeria, especially when they are not followed up with consequences or punishments for those who default. Are there punishments, are there consequences for those who default in the part of the medical practitioners and also in the part of the patients, those who go through the process without following these guidelines?
yes, you are right. The law still stands that illegal abortion is 14 years imprisonment, meaning that it still stands in Nigeria and it still stands in Lagos, meaning that anybody that perform unqualified or expert procedures, there will be litigation and there will be law against that person, meaning that it's just for the mother or the family and the awareness to know that this procedure has to be carried out in an expert standard facilities, hospitals, clinic, and a qualified personnel. And the training is going to be to all medical practitioners to know the procedure, how it's being carried out in a safe procedure and to save life. He's being trained, and there will be more trained and more awareness on when the case to abortion in Lagos State. So far, the abortion is being legalized in Lagos State. I know the team, the health monitoring team in Lagos State, that is FMR, will take a proper cautions and proper follow-up when it comes to the aspect of this.
Yeah, that's very important. But this is Lagos City, and we know that there are creeks, there are, rural areas, even in this Lagos City, where information find it hard to get to. And then there are people who go through this process of abortion. Many have lost their lives in the process because they do not have access to good, medical facilities or even information as to where to get to the medical facilities. How is this information being disseminated to these people in those rural areas and those who do not have access to maybe televisions, internet, or all of these facilities?
Yes, even before the approval of the illegal abortion, the abortion is taking place every day by day in our environment, in the different aspects of procedure, unqualified. There are ways people get rid of what they want in any way they want it. They go. Some people travel outside the Lagos State to go to anywhere, maybe Lagos State to go and do certain things. But so far it's legal. Now it's just to create more awareness, and the awareness is not really much for the people outside. It's for the health team, the health committees, for them to know that if a patient comes in to your facility and it comes with the indications of this, there's not this fear, because naturally some facility it won't tell you that I can't do this, I can't practice this because it's illegal. Because of that, indirectly sending that patient away is like giving that person a kind of a death certificate, because the person goes back to where he's coming from and go and take unqualified products. But by the time a medical personnel know that it's legal to do a certain procedure, they will welcome the patient, counsel them, and let them know the importance of this procedure. This is a threat to your life, this is a threat to the baby, these are complications is possible to arise at the stage of maybe 30 weeks, 40 weeks. And
so it means more awareness, sensitization, and education still need to be done. But do you see this spread into other states in terms of creating awareness and ensuring that people go through abortion the right way?
Yes, by the time the awareness is there, luckily we have a very easy way of communication and through social medias. By the time the awareness is there, people take it up and people is aware already. It's just the the facilities to be known and back up that there is a law now guiding. That's what I'm
All right,
emphasizing
Dr.
on.
Akoni, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much for explaining the details of this to us. Dr. Akoni Abiola is a medical director of Olukayode Clinic. Thank you for your time on iBrand Daybreak.
Thank you.
All right, have a great weekend.
Wow.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, it will be time for more topical issues. Please stay with us.